Festival of Children's Content 2012. I am Kumuna, your MC for today. To begin, let me introduce the panel members. We have Ms. Claire Chiang, Chairperson of the Board of Advisors for the Asian Festival of Children's Content and Senior Vice President, Banyan Tree Holdings. Mr. R. Ramachandran, Executive Director of the National Book Development Council of Singapore. Mr. Colin Goh, General Manager of the Arts House. And Mr. Nelson B., Director of Business Development Content at Singtel. ASCC is jointly organized by the Book Council and the Arts House. I would like to take this opportunity to thank all our supporting partners who have made this festival possible. This 4-day festival, held from May 26 to 29, will gather 86 experts and many more delegates at the Arts House to celebrate, share, and learn more about Asian content for children. The key theme of AFCC 2012 is the convergence of one story to various formats to appeal to today's children. This year's focus is also the Parents Forum and Primary and Preschool Teachers Congress. Mr. Ramachandran, the one who spearheaded this event, will provide you more insight about the programs in store later. So to get matters rolling, it gives me great pleasure to invite Ms. Claire Chiang to deliver her welcome address. Ms. Chiang, please.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. It is really my pleasure to welcome you to this official launch of the 3rd Asian Festival of Children's Content, which will take place in Singapore, May 26 to 29. And this festival is made possible by the partnership between the Book Council and the Arts House here in Singapore. Thank you, Colin. And I have here a pre-publication copy, so I'm the only one who have it. And in it is a very interesting lineup of activities and programs and workshops, and I hope you will all be able to spread word around and get as many people as possible to come to attend this. In this wonderful 4-day period, delegates attending AFCC will explore, exchange, experience, and celebrate Asian children's content in all formats and subjects from diverse resources brought together especially during this festival. And children and young people today exposed to many story platforms. Besides the written book at a very young age, parents, teachers, writers, illustrators, media specialists, publishers, and agents, as well as young readers in Singapore, Asia, and around the world, are both inspired and challenged. I had an opportunity to listen to 6 young people just 2 days ago on stage. They are 16 years old and they spend 4 to 5 hours on the internet. And they make movies, they illustrate, they rap, they sing, they combine music, and it is wonderful to see the creative and innovative minds of young people. But what they will need to do all that is actually content. So I said to them, you should be doing all that with creative children's content in order to educate the world. And they are very excited about that too. I think technology is continuous innovating and at a breathtaking pace. The average age of the 500 people in the audience that day was about 35, which to this 16-year-olds were far too old. And the way they were moving about and all that, all of us who are in the 60s and 50s would say, wow, the world has changed. It definitely, technology has revolutionized the way children, or we call them the digital natives, the way they think, describe, communicate, interact, and process information. At the same time, there are millions of children who still do not have access to a single book, let alone new technology. These children have so much to gain from an opportunity to read and a experiences and stories to share with us. I think this festival will be addressing all these issues and more. Now, an important part of the festival is the presentation of awards to recognize the creative achievement of our content creators. As such, I'm pleased to announce that 4 new books have been shortlisted for the Scholastic Asian Book Award in 2012. And these 4 are Bungee Cord Hair by Chin Yun Russell. Yes. From the state, yeah, not here. Double Take by Catherine Xiao, Singapore. Yes. Could you stand up, please, Catherine? Let's give her an applause. Hidden in Plain Sight by Ang Sulin, Singapore. Well done. And wow, this one, The Locked Up Boy by Pauline Low, Singapore. Let's give a collective applause to all the four. The winning manuscript will be announced and is author awarded a prize of $10,000 at the AFCC award ceremony on 29 May during the festival. And the winning title will also be considered for publication by Scholastic Asia. The top 3 prize winners from last year's Scholastic Asian Book Award were all taken up by Scholastic for publication. Singaporean author and playwright of video news story, The Mud Skipper, was the 2nd runner-up. Olivia, where are you? Yay! I thought you were Australia. Welcome. The Mud Skipper was the 2nd runner-up, and Olivia, I'm delighted to announce that The Mud Skipper has been published and will be available for sale during the festival. Please support our local talents. I'm also delighted to announce a new award for writers of children's books. Now here we have to thank Singtel. The Singtel Asian Picture Book Award will be presented annually for an outstanding unpublished picture book with a distinctly Asian theme. Submission for this award is now open. The inaugural prize of $10,000 will be presented this year at the festival. Again, thank you, Nelson, for this support. It has been an honor to serve as chair of the AFCC Board of Advisors since the inaugural AFCC in 2010. And the Board of Advisors comprises of representatives from the National Book Centers, libraries, authors, academia, international organizations, and media from 13 countries. I've really benefited greatly from all these creative dialogues I've had the last 2 years with various people. It shows, that every day is a learning day, and there's enormous ignorance in all of us. So we have to continue to read and write and discover. Last year, the passion, inspiration, experiences from 23 countries in our shared vision of bringing quality Asian content to the world's children was brought together 2011. This year, the dedicated team at NBDCS has expanded and further enriched the program. You see how thick it is? And this year, we even have 5 ads. So next year, we're going to hope to get 15 ads because of the success of this year. The AFCC board wholeheartedly supports the Book Council's ambitious plans to continue developing AFCC as the key annual conference of its kind in the region, and sincerely appreciates the many partners and supporters who are working together with the Council to achieve this shared vision. The joy of reading and its power to inspire and teach our children and the child in all of us, and to let our imagination soar, it's really something we are all working towards. Besides the invaluable knowledge, skills, experiences, and creative energy contributed to by so many, of course, we need financial support. Towards this end, This year, last year and this year, I've donated every dollar from the sale of my recently published memoirs, My Journey and After, to the Book Council in support of the AFCC. I'm happy to announce that so far I raised $230,000 from this sale of the book. Mama told me that it is still not enough. So, and we are also hoping to continue to raise in order to prepare for the book festival in 2013. So I welcome you spread the word around and all corporate leaders, organizations, and individuals to contribute to this worthy cause. And with me in this hard work is Evelyn Wong. A lot of her writing, and she's at my back with emails, and she nags me, and she works with my secretariat, and we are approaching and knocking at doors at corporations to try to get the next dollar. But we'll be there. So it is my pleasure now to ask Mr. Ramachandran, ED of the NBDCS, to share with you more details and highlights in this year's festival. And on behalf of the AFCC Board of Advisors, Book Council, and the Arts House, I would like to thank you for your presence, and most importantly, thank you for helping us to reach out to our readers and viewers and to join us this year, 2012, the Book Festival. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, Claire, for the inspiring message. Claire is always inspiring. I think I've been inspired, so if I may still continue to do some more work, it's because of young people like Claire. Thank you, Claire, for your support and your contribution. Nelson, Colin, thank you for being our partners. And all of you, thank you so much for being with us. My job here today is just to run through you, to give you a picture of what you can expect this year during the Asian Children's Festival. Now, the main, you will remember Claire was talking about technology and that books have changed. And that is why we do not call this festival a book festival. We call it a content festival because content comes in different media. And that's the power of the word content. And we want to develop it into a world-class event. And that is why one of our ambitions is to make the Asian Festival of Children's Content the Bologna of the East. Some of you have been to Bologna, will know what type of conference it is. We are slowly moving towards that great ambition. Now, our vision is to establish AFCC as a center of quality children's content that's creative, entertaining, and educational. And of course, preferably and more focused, Asian in theme. And as you know, many of you with children, many of us have grown up with content that is purely dominated by Western themes, and we are asking, why not more books come with Asian themes? And this is what we are advocating, this is what we are promoting. Now, these are our simple three main objectives: to develop writing and illustration of children's stories and content. Children's books fascinate me, and I'm sure it fascinates every one of us because it's a convergence of the verbal skills and visual skills. It's a fabulous combination. A picture book is a joy to watch and read because it's both visual and verbal expertise. Now, of course, publishing of Asian content. Despite the fact our publishers are not very entrepreneurial, we hope that they realize that Asia is growing. There are more than 1 billion, I'm told 1.5 billion children who are thirsting for good books, and we hope that through this AFCC we can inspire them to publish Asian content and to provide the world access to Asian content. I'm always being very, very frustrated. It's nice to say you can have wonderful content, Even with electronic communications, it's not easily accessible. And that's why we promote access. I mean, in Asia, remote parts of Asia, even books are not accessible. What more, electronic communication? And that's why we're talking about electronic access. Now, the background for Festival is not really 3 years old, it's more than 12 years old. Back then, 12 years ago, we focused on what we still focus on, the Asian children's writers. But that was the main objective, bringing the writers. But as the years went on, we felt that there was no progress. The writers were coming, they came and talked very much, and industrialists came, and then nothing happened. Because we didn't bring the other party, the publishers, the producers, who had expertise to produce and publish. And the writers and the publishers never met. And that is why we said we should have a larger and bigger festival which will encompass all the groups that are involved in content making, creating, and distributing. And that's how the Asian Festival of Children's Content began in 2010 with Claire spearheading. And over the 2 years, just as Claire herself has been inspired by it, so much so that she has written a wonderful book, which is the bestseller in Singapore. It is more than 5,000 copies. I mean, in Singapore, if you sell 1,000 copies, it's already a bestseller. Now, people have said, Rama, your focus is too wide. How can you get everybody in? But my point is, yes, you must get everybody in. You just talk to writers and trustees, it's not enough. You must get the librarian to purchase. You must get the parents to use the books with their children. You must get the technology experts to distribute the books, to create the e-books. You must get the producers and publishers and then teach everybody. Only then the dream of getting Asian content to the Asian world and to the larger worldwide will happen. And that is why our target audience might look diffuse, but it's not that. If you look at our conference, as I will show you, how each of those programs focuses on a target audience. These are the very impressive figures from 2010 to 2012. And people have always asked, how can you have so many people in a small place like Arts House? But little do they know, the Arts House comprises of several fine, wonderful rooms, and each of them can hold 100 people. So at any one time, there can be 400 people in the Arts House. So that's why we have so many concurrent sessions, and that's why we have so many groups of people attending the FCC. Now, this year's speakers come from different countries, 15 different countries, a large number of them from Singapore. And then, I want to also emphasize that the AFTC does not only come once a year, it's throughout the year, because we have now established the AFTC Children's Book Club, which discusses and launches children's books throughout the year. So the AFTC message goes on throughout the year, and sometimes to neighboring countries as well. And here are the programs of this year. The main events are the Asian Congress for Teachers, the Parent Forum, the Writers' Conference, the Media Summit, specialized language workshops, master classes, literature lecture, awards presentation, the Media Mart, and illustrious gallery and book launches. And I will go through each one of them as the next slides. Now, primary and preschool Congress teachers. I really felt that our children do not have access to good literature. Now, that's because our policies are sometimes not very supporting. You know that. But what more if you do not have Asian books in our schools? And that is why we emphasize we must get the school books and materials right in the primary and preschool division. And that's why we came up with this conference. And this conference appeals and focuses on the need for good literature for young people. And parents for us, parents are very important, are more important sometimes than teachers. I just heard somebody was saying that when the principal calls, he was called up by the principal to complain about the student and the child. And the father asked, what are you complaining about? I'm complaining that your student, your child is not doing very well. Child is doing very well. I'm not bothered about it. Is there any other thing that you're complaining about? There's nothing I'm complaining about. I'm not worried about. If my child is not doing well in school, it's your responsibility. If the child is dishonest, if his child is doing something else, then it is my responsibility as a parent. Your responsibility is to teach the child and make the child learn. Don't include me in the process. That was for you. But anyway, I thought I should share with you that parents play a very important part. Yeah? And that's why we have this parent drawing. And this year we have the privilege of having our chairman participate in some of the workshops as well. And this is our core. This has been successful for past 10 years. And writers from all over Asia come. And of course, there are fantastic talent in Asia. What they do not have is the skill to appeal to children in a way children will easily read them. And this is what we want to learn from the rest of the world and impart to our growing Asian writers and illustrations for this purposes. And that is why you see in Singapore, during the AFCC period, a great combination of the East and West. Expertise in both worlds coming together and learning from each other. And this conference is very well established. And finally, the Asian Media Summit. And this was a last-minute entrance. I mean, of course, last year we added two. Largely because when I showed my producer friends from television and film industry, and I showed them the 2010 brochure, they said, hey, it's very impressive, but why are you showing it to me? Why not? You're a producer, don't you want content? No, but the way it looks very bookish. But nevertheless, they didn't see the fact that a lot of media people providing lectures, but they were not interested in that. They didn't see the relevance directly. So we said, okay, fine. To draw you into our crowd, we established Asian Leaders Summit. And together with media specialists, we were able to put forward a program for the last 2 years. And this is another sell-off because books must be written and then they must take various forms. And this will be ultimately the new media, the film and television and the new media. So we have four main important conferences addressing four main groups of people. And specialized language workshops. Of course, we are multilingual, and last year we introduced it. This year we are in all three languages, and from next year onwards, perhaps Singapore will be the only conference in the world will have conferences which has more than one language. Specialized language workshops. These are the experts from Indonesia, from India, and our own local experts in Mandarin are giving workshops in this area. And then master classes. Now, as I told you, the writers, there are very many writers, and illustrators in this part of the world. What we lack is abundant skills that attract the young people. And these masters in their own area are going to come here and impart their knowledge to people who need them. And that is why we have very big names. Ruth Stark is a very big writer in Australia. Cynthia Liu is an emerging writer, an Asian American writer who will impart writing skills for children. Illustrating Marjorie Van Hidden and Lucy Lee are very big names. Lucy Lee is a Korean, Marjorie is a South African, wonderful writers of children's books and illustrators of children's books. I met especially Marjorie, and very impressed with her illustration, and she was certainly excited. Illustrators work with children's books. And editing. Editing is always a need in Singapore, in many parts of Asia. There might be good writers, but without good editors, you can't go forward. And this year we had one of the biggest names, Sarah Odijina and Elvina Ling, both of them, very big names. People say, Rama, I don't see any big names in your conference. It's wrong. They are big names because they are the guys who created the bestsellers behind the bestsellers. And you want to listen to them. How did they do that? How did they do that? And here are two great people who are coming to show us how. And finally, it's a literature lecture. We thought we must always end up with a nice literature lecture that surveys the periods and gives you a trend where literature is going. And here is Lama, who's again a very great writer and a commentator and a critic, and will give us the lecture this year. And there will be awards presentation, as Claire mentioned just now. So we had 2 awards, including this year we'll also be talking about the Ajukanwa Award biannual, and the Singtel Award is annual. Scholastic annual awards were until last 2 years annual, but now they have said it's better to have it biannual. So the Scholastic Asian Award will be biannual. I want to let you know that we are in search for other sponsors who come for other types of awards, especially for published books. Most of these awards are for non-published manuscripts, but we are looking for sponsors for published books. Media Mart is a place where you gather to buy the thing that you've always been dreaming of. As I told you, if you go to the bookshops in Singapore, you really can't get those books that we're talking about. But this is 1 year at a time where you come to Media Mart, you get the best of Asian literature. Not only the literature, books written by the people who are coming here, but other literature, noted literature that normally not available. So this is a public program, open to public, so we would like you and your family to come for this Media Mart. And book illustration gallery, as we always had last year and previous years, very, very, very popular, because the picture book or children's book is never good enough without a good illustration. And people do not appreciate the importance of illustration. And that is why we are having this program of displaying children's illustrations of famous illustrators. And then, of course, the book launches and other launches of services and products that will take place during the Media Mart. Now, whenever I speak to the media people, they will ask me, why are you attending this so many times? What's new this year? This is especially for you, those who are media. What's new? Country focus. The country focus, that's new. And we are having a translation session, that's new. We have a new program called Celebrating Our Stars. We have got children as part of our program. This was something that even Claire mentioned. Hey, we're talking about children, we only have adults, where are the children? The children will come. And then we talk about Singtel Asian Literature Award, Nelson will give you further, and then the rights here. These are the new elements this year. Now I'll give you some details. The country focus is Philippines, our country focus, and we are getting 10 great people, and we have Mira who helped us bring them together. Mira, you want to say something about the country writers program?
It really brings us great pleasure to gather together some of our most talented writers and illustrators coming from the Philippines. Bluey Singsen is a book blogger, and she also publishes book review in I think it's Manila Times, in a newspaper in the Philippines. Isabel Rojas is also a famous illustrator. I think she's based currently in New York. Candy Gourlay is also an award-winning author. She won the Crystal Kite Award, the inaugural award in Europe, sometime in 2010. Her book, Tall Story, is considered to be a premier book for young adults. We also have Russell Molina and Jonique Tejido, both award-winning illustrators from the Philippines. So it will be wonderful to have all of you come in and see and meet them.
There is some cultural performance also as well. Thank you so much, Mira. And at this point, I must acknowledge Mira's contribution and a few others. Joanne for media. Joanne, please stand up. And Yvonne, where's Yvonne? Yvonne, yes. Chitra, yes, Chitra, please. Thank you so much. Thank you. Anybody here who's okay? Yes, these are the group of people that I've been working with to develop this program. They are specialists in their own field and they're giving their time to help us. Okay? And then focus, these are the highlights. Special focus is translation. I think translation is very important. I think the lack of understanding between cultures and writers not crossing borders because of lack of translation. This year, in a small way, we're introducing a translation session, which will, in the years ahead, will grow bigger. And celebrating our stars. Why not? We felt that this year, we will celebrate the writers of Asia. And MediaCorp has come in to support this idea, where this whole program is for them to come and talk about the books and themselves, and hopefully get a contract from MediaCorp. And children's program. These are children's programs that we have done. We are cooperating with the Act 3 Media Drama Academy to push this forward. And these are some of the children's programs we have introduced. So, yes, we are growing with one more. Rights new award, which Nelson will talk about. And then finally, the Rights Fair. The Rights Fair. The Rights Fair is, again, introduction. In many festivals all over the world, this is a common thing, but this year we are making it small and growing, where people can sell their rights to other countries. And it's very complicated. We hope that this will take off from now on. Okay. And ladies and gentlemen, what we want is, like everything else in Singapore, a very high quality, highly attended by the best people, and a learning and a conference that is also a certain amount of fun and festivity. And that's why this year we will also introduce some music and hopefully some dance during the festival so that we can be a wonderful event. There are some speakers here already. Thank you very much, Kanti from NLB. Who are the speakers? Of course, Chitra and Mira are here. Any other speakers who are here who missed out? Sure? Yes, Bukubura is our official bookshop. Thank you very much for your presence, and let the spirit of AFC take you on, and let's have a good time in September when May comes. Thank you so much.